Hi there! Hello everybody. And by everybody I mean probably one person. And that's cool. I appreciate one person as much as I'd appreciate 1,000. I'm just going to live broadcast. In case anyone would like to join us. Now here we have the remainder of the baby deer skeleton that is not yet assembled. If you haven't seen the rest of the assembly of the baby deer skeleton, it's okay. It will be up on the channel soon. But for now we have all these beauties. And these are mostly the limbs, you know, the leg bones. Although there's also shoulders, and this is part of the sternum. So it's kind of a mix of everything that's below the ribs, or well, except for that, the scapula. Now these smell terrible. I'm not gonna lie, there's like multiple kinds of death smell. It's kind of funny, but this one's, well, never mind. In case you're eating, I'm not gonna let you know. These are in such terrible shape. If you'll notice, this has a lot of staining on it, and that's because these legs were previously assembled by a vertebrate class, a lab group in a vertebrate class. They actually assembled the legs really well. It looked accurate. Everything looked to be where it was supposed to be. The only problem is they did not fully clean off all the flesh. They left bits of cartilage and things like that between the joints. See, baby bones haven't fused yet. I'll show you what I mean. See? Now, in an adult animal, that would be one bone. In a baby, it's still a separate bone and separated by cartilage. They didn't clean any of the cartilage out, so it rotted terribly. See how the bone's kind of worn away? Yeah, it did some serious rotting, which is unfortunate, but I'm hoping I can make it good. I can make it look, hopefully, at least as good as the vertebrae. Well, no, it's not going to look as good as the vertebrae, but we're going to do our best. What I'm doing, I've tried to degrease it because deer bones are incredibly greasy. Deer and bear bones are both very, very greasy, and this is what I mean by greasy. You see the color difference? This yellow here is all the grease still trapped inside the bone, whereas the lighter portions are where the grease is mostly gone. And I've had these bones sitting in clean water. Well, it's not clean water for very long. It's used to degrease. Microorganisms pull all the grease out for you, and it settles in the water, so you got to change it out, or it'll develop biofilm. And but it's been degreasing for weeks. The texture of the bone outside is starting to flake away a little bit because bones aren't very calcified when they're young. Baby bones are not very calcified. So I don't really want to risk doing very much damage to these bones just trying to get the grease out so that they look better. So unfortunately, this grease may have to stay. We'll try and get as much out as we can with scrubbing and peroxide, but there's only so much we can do. At least on a time-sensitive project. On one that's not time-sensitive, sure, we could, well, for one, we could bury it. We could bury them, and that might help, or put them out on the sun. That helps a lot, but there's no way to keep an eye on them that way right now. So, need our gloves. And you will want a toothbrush that no one will ever make the mistake of using. I am not kidding. Never use a toothbrush you find in a lab, obviously, but yeah, you don't want anyone to confuse this toothbrush. But you got your toothbrush, wet your toothbrush, and what I'm going to do is use shampoo. There's also, if you use all natural degreasing soap detergent, that helps too, but I'm going to use a gentle shampoo. And we are just going to pick up these bones, search them for any extra bits of flesh and things like that, and just start scrubbing. These bones have been sitting in water for weeks, and you'd think that that would help, but no, they smell really terrible because all the grease has been pulled to the surface, and microorganisms have been making biofilm in their water. And so yeah, it smells bad, but it's funny, the kind of shampoo you use, whatever shampoo you use to do this, you'll start to associate with death. So when some really nice looking lady or gentleman comes by smelling of the fruity or flowery scent that you use, they will smell dead to you. I guess at least if you associate things the way that I do. So I'm not going to make you watch me scrub every bone in here. There are some where there's still tiny bits of flesh that we need to remove from this one, and then we're going to dump it into this nice clean bowl of water. So, since it's not going to be very interesting watching me scrub as much as this job requires, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I will be broadcasting again in less than an hour. Cool. Thanks for joining me.